One match remaining in the Premier League until the final standings are decided, and it's coming right down to the wire. Players' Premier League fate is not only in their own hands, but also at the mercy of their opponents' performances. Who will make the cut, and whose dreams of becoming champion will be over? Exciting stuff tonight. JC Tran and Peter Eastgate can pretty much play God. All they're worried about is getting points for that final table. It'll be converted to final table chips. In the playoff zone, it's going to be a lot of pressure on Vicky Coren. Anything but sixth, and she will be through. And a win, of course, will put her into the finals. And in the relegation zone, Roland to Wolfe needs a fourth or better to go through to the top 8. A win could also get him straight to the final table. For Nenad, he must win, and Vicky Coren must be knocked out first.
If I win this match outright, I can make the top 4. I'm guaranteed the final. If I'm the first one out, I'm completely eliminated. So no pressure.
It's top 4 and I'm in. Win it and I'm into the final. 5th or 6th and I'm bike time. So it's all in my hands.
I think it's probably correct to pass every hand until someone goes out, but I don't know if I can bear to.
Vicky and Roland, they're going to have to prove to me that they want to play instead of just sitting there and just waiting and hoping, you know.
I'm playing to win. I need the win. So, and if I'm playing a hand against Vicky and Roland, I'm gonna play pretty aggressively against them because I know they can't really call big bets because they need to survive a couple players.
If I go out first, then I think Hellmuth don't make the final. That's a pretty good reason for going out first, actually.
You motherfuckers can pick on me.
Players on their way to their most important match yet.
I'm just here to play poker, boys. I'm just trying to win.
These two are going to be
and if you feel like I'm picking on you, I apologize.
I'm here joined by not only one of the greatest poker minds, but also tonight's most interested observer, Phil Hellmuth.
Well, let me talk a little bit about who's on the chopping block tonight, baby, because I am. Because if Roland doesn't finish in 5th or 6th, and Vicky doesn't finish in 6th, I'm out. So I have 2 hopes there. Nenad, he needs a doctor. Medic's a good name for him, right? This guy needs a doctor because what he needs to have happen is he needs to take out Vicky 6th, Roland 5th, and then win it. That's his only way. So he has a real slim hope of getting there. Roland makes it, of course, if he finishes 4th, 3rd, 2nd, or 1st. And Vicky, all she has to do is not finish last, and she's going to make it through. And that's kind of the chopping block.
It's going to be a cracker, you know that. What an end to this league. Heaven can wait because a couple of these guys are going to get burned tonight. Phil, it's all to play for here.
Jesse, this is absolutely, if you're a fan of the Premier League, this is it. This is week 12. This is make or break. And the strategies employed today are like no other tournament that you ever play in.
Chip values, yellow's worth 1,000, blues are 2, reds are 5. Same as always, 100,000 per player and 600K in play.
It's very rare.
This is some exciting stuff tonight, Jess. This is it. People have been watching for 11 weeks to find out who's going to make it. And there's all kinds of other scenarios, too, like who's going to make the Final 4. Someone like Roland to Wolfe, he could get relegated. If he finishes first, he's certain to make the top 4 and avoid the playoffs.
And that may be why he's a little testy tonight. This is big pressure for de Wolfe, isn't it?
A lot of pressure.
And really, isn't there some kind of weird math here where Nenad wouldn't mind taking the worst of it against Vicky because of the upside if he does bust her?
I got to tell you right now that if Nenad has 3-8 offsuit and Vicky is pushed all in with 2 aces, and he knows she has 2 aces, his correct move would be to call 100% of the time. So isn't that really weird?
How strong is that?
Yeah. Vicky could move all in, show 2 aces, and Nan would say, I call. It doesn't matter what 2 cards he has because he has to take her out in 6th. And he knows it.
Oh, there they are. He's watching her, and she's watching him.
What does Phil need? He needs one of you two to
you don't need any points.
Top 2?
Now, Phil.
Both of us.
No, me. But what does Phil need? He needs both of you to bust?
Yeah.
No,
Really?
I need.
Maybe if I don't want,
That's
if I don't
incorrect,
want
Vicky.
No,
or.
not Roland, because if Roland is in 5th, then Phil would be ahead of him on the tiebreak. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I need Roland to finish 5th or 6th, or Vicky to finish 6th.
Just me.
Now,
Phil,
He has 6 points, but you're not
Phil,
allowed to
there was
count
a
how many
lot of
years.
talk last year. If you remember, Roland was in the exact same spot Vicky is in now, where he had to finish anything but sixth. He folded every hand and came in sixth. Was it still the correct strategy?
Well, he folded every single hand, and there were like 5 or 6 all-ins, and it so happened the short stack won every single all-in. He was extraordinarily unlucky, although when he got down to like 30,000, he should have moved all in with 2 8s, and he would have won the antes, because there's no incentive for anybody to take him out at that point.
And JC's staring at the Devilfish, who's raised this pot. And everybody is looking at people and thinking, I know what's going through your head, and how do I sort of react to that? Cards don't matter as much.
Cards do not matter as much, that's for sure. And I think that JC's thinking, you know what? I have King Jack. I might have been able to play this hand or raise with this hand before. But guess what? Devilfish is not going to get pushed around tonight.
It's interesting. I mean, a lot of people might think, well, the Devilfish just wants to go in there and just bust out. But he's bet a lot of money on himself, and he's also got, of course, the implied odds, the pride of just winning this thing.
It was a great time for him to bet money on himself because he knows he'd get to 130, 140,000 risk-free because he has 2 people that are just going to fold.
Right. You was in a similar position to this last time, remember?
It worked out well.
Yeah. It didn't look like
and so, Phil, so Roland basically got unlucky last year. So is Vicky's correct strategy here just to fold?
Oh, yeah, certainly. She just has to fold. Now, unless Nenad has folded already, and, you know, and she picks up aces or kings, she could just make a raise and just try to gamble for it. But, I mean, it's debatable whether she should even, you know, I mean, one thing she could clearly do is she could, if she picks up aces and Nenad is folded, she could just bet her whole 100,000 in chips. Now, she'd only win 3,000 with that bet, but at least she'd, you know, take some risk of being eliminated out of the...
But, I mean, there is also in the back of her mind that folding might only get her to the playoffs, whereas winning this heat would get her to the final table.
But her mindset is, let me not finish 6th, then I'm in the playoffs, and then now she can start drinking some wine and start playing like a crazy woman and give herself a chance to win. Now she can actually put pressure on Roland. So the minute anyone's gone, Vicky's in a position where, you know, she can start putting pressure on Roland.
And right now, Vicky's just praying for the Devilfish to go broke here.
Oh, the Devilfish going broke here is just an absolute horrible situation for me, by the way.
So, are you going to try and telegraph to Devilfish right now to get away from his ace-5?
Devilfish is on his game.
You don't understand, I don't really care.
Oh, my God. That's bad for me and Devilfish.
7,000.
Careful, Fishy.
Is your night good?
Careful, Dave.
Probably. We'll find out. See if I have another bullet.
See, here's the thing. I don't want any big pots from anybody except Roland and Vicky.
What's going to happen now?
Let's just see what happens. I mean, Eastgate might bet 15,000 or
16,000.
Yeah, and Fish is going to call it.
And it's that.
I wish Fish would look him in the eyes because, you know, that's the only way he can tell. No, he's not looking in his eyes. I don't like that. That is a great card for Fish because you know what? He's going to get away from this hand. Thank goodness.
22,000.
I should have raised your fucking ass on the flop, but look how bad she's made it out now. Wow.
Fish, she gave you a perfect card, Fishy.
It's 22, Phil.
I'm so fucking unlucky in this place. It's scary. I flopped an ace, you know. I know if you have an ace, you'd be happy to check it.
If Eastgate did have an ace, unless it was ace-9 or ace-king, he might have just checked the river, Phil. Would he have checked 2 pair?
Yeah, I mean, if Devilfish calls us, he's just off of his game, you know, and you know, he's just off of his game if he calls. That's all there is to it. So,
and he is holding your Premier League hopes in the palm of his hand right now, Phil. You've got it all riding on the Fish.
In about 20 seconds, Fish is going to fold his hand, maybe sooner.
He got off it. He's not happy about it. But he did get off it. And Eastgate doesn't even do him the favor of showing him the cards, Phil.
Follow slow playing and then let's get another bet than the first card off puts. You got to assume he raised in first position, out of position against somebody who don't care that he's got some reasonable cards in his hand.
Good lay down, Fish. Good lay down.
And we're playing against some lucky people out there. You know, these are some of the luckiest people in the world, in the poker world. I mean, Eastgate's just won 9 million. You know, I mean, I've never really been a lucky poker player. You know, I've been playing 30 years, and basically, I mean, I'm a lot more skillful than them, and that's how come I've survived the test of time. I mean, a lot of them won't be here, you know. They won't be playing poker for 30 years, they'll have gone broke by then, you know. Although it's a bit hard to go broke when you just won 9 million, I guess. I mean, in the old days when I used to drive around the motorways and play around the private games, you know, trying to win $2 grand a night or something, you know. Well, these kids would have had no chance in that scenario. But now, you know, they can sit and play online, and they just can play all in the Oldham online, or they win one big tournament and they get millions, you know, so it's a lot easier.
I'll tell you, it was just a while ago in the bar, the Devilfish put his arms around Peter Eastgate and said, son, I'll tell you the way of the world. Take advice from me. And Eastgate's not returning the favor.
Cool. Cool.
I bet Phil was begging me to put that hand down there, don't you? Fold it, Devil, fold it.
That's right, Fishy.
He knows that. He knows that.
And look at this. Eastgate's just dominated here. If a king comes, somebody else has a bigger kicker. I mean,
welcome to the world of Peter Eastgate.
That is just sick. If a jack comes, he's in trouble. If a 7 comes, he's in trouble. But instead, they found a jack and a 7.
Welcome to the world of the world champion, Phil.
That is so sick.
How sick is that?
Last time I was in the booth, he hit every hand.
20,000.
I wonder if Tran's going to go broke here.
You need to be in there.
Could JC Tran go broke here?
God, I hope not.
It's
but
not
I mean,
his style, Phil.
I know, but he must be tired, you know, and I mean...
If he sticks too many chips in here, Phil, it's not JC's style to play big pot poker.
It would not be JC's normal style to go broke on this hand in this spot.
Cool.
I certainly don't mind him for calling the raise, though. I mean, certainly don't blame him for that.
I'll tell you right now, Vicky and Roland are the two happiest people at the table.
Queen is a good card for him.
Check.
Wow. Eastgate. He's playing God.
26,000.
Wow.
And what does JC have to tell himself here? Is there any hand he can beat right now?
There isn't much he could beat right now, but I think that, you know, again, Tran might be a little tired, you know, I mean, and who could blame him? The guy has, what does he have, 4 firsts and a second or something crazy?
3 firsts and 2 seconds.
3 firsts and 2 seconds, so he might be a little tired, and it could be a dangerous time for him.
Don't like that turn card.
That's right, JC. Now he's starting to get
Might
away.
even be a hit in the flop.
Good lay down. That's
Phil, come on. That is greatness. I mean...
Well, that's not greatness. I mean, he had top pair with the king. He can't really beat anything once Eastgate raised him. He can't really beat much at all except for 8-9. So,
but the consistency he's shown in this Premier League.
I think he played the hand just right. It was a very good laydown, but it wasn't a great laydown. I think that because he's tired, it's a much tougher laydown. And I'm just assuming he's tired. But I think he played the hand just right. You know, he let out. He called the raise, and he souped it on the turn. Give him credit.
He's playing fast.
Well, he's playing fast because he knows that there's 2 dead spots at the table. So when he raises, he only has to get by a couple of guys.
What kind of decision is this for Devilfish? He's down to 72,000.
Yeah, I know. This is playing out really poorly for me because Devilfish has gotten himself a little low. It seems like JC Tran's gotten himself a little low. And these are the guys that I need to, you know, hang on.
Well, he's like in the tank here, Fish. Is he thinking about a re-raise? Is he thinking about a call?
To raise his fucking around with his chips. He's got no cards. Excuse me. Yeah. I wonder what was happening. I usually take about 3 seconds to make mine like that, right?
Yeah, I think Fish is. This is good. I like the fact he's reading his opponent here. He's taking a look at him. He's thinking it out. I like that. So Good move. Okay, he's going to win the spot. Now, if he would have just called there, he risked JC Tran taking it away if there was a bad flop. Plus, Fish knows that they're really playing four-handed right now, and so Tran could have a lot of things.
Sorry, I didn't give free flop, bro.
Devil's playing the game, Phil. That's got to make you feel a little good now, huh?
It
little
does,
smile to your
but
face.
yeah, but Tran's a little bit low too. I mean, you know, I mean, I have to sweat all these things, man. It's not easy. We have to worry about this guy doing this and that guy doing that, and you have to keep your eyes on her and him and their ups and downs and their back and forth.
Peter Eastgate's up to 160.
I don't really want to see flops with that.
Vicky and Roland yet to play a hand yet, and that may not change.
Let me tell you something. Vicky and Roland are just pleased right now. They're so happy. They're like, 2 people are down to 80 or 70,000 right now.
You know what the action in the green room is? It's, does Vicky fold with her left hand or her right hand? And will Roland fold with his left hand? Or ooh.
Fish is playing the game now. Now he's playing the game.
He's playing some poker.
Oh, thank you, sir.
So Fish has gotten himself back in there. 2 re-raises with 2 7s and ace-6. He's come to play the game. I have not seen this from him. He's been tending to fold the ace-6 rather than re-raise with it. He was right both times. He re-raised. He had the best hand both times. So Fish might be in form.
Things are tense as the players work out who they need to outlast and who they need to knock out.
I'm going to try to stay away from the Devilfish, Peter Eastgate, and JC Tran. I don't want them to bust because that gives me no chance to move on. I'm going to be hoping that Vicky and Roland play some big pots and that they lose. So I'm going to be staying away from those 3 players and kind of picking on Roland and Vicky.
This is a really tough one. Of course, there's an argument for passing every hand until someone gets knocked out, because if I'm the first out, I'm eliminated. So you could say just pass, pass, pass till someone goes. But that's what Roland did in his last match last year, and he got anteed away. So this is not a 100% safe strategy.
I'm very aware that, you know, Vicky's in a tight spot, and so's, you know, Nenad's got stuff to play for, and then there's 3 sort of wild cards who have no pressure. So, and I was here last year, so I know what to do. I got a plan.
Welcome back. Historically, the last match of the Premier League season has provided the most extreme table dynamics, and this one no different. Eastgate, no pressure, and he's played that way, and Vicky and Roland shouldn't move a chip, and they haven't.
I was deciding if I could do all about it. I raised.
Raised to 10,000.
Wow, that's
Hello,
a big raise.
And see, Nenad has a problem here, which is that he actually cannot bust the Devilfish. I mean, if it comes a king and the Devilfish shoves all in, what does Nenad have to do?
He has to fold, actually.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you're so clever.
He's going to have to kick him under the table.
All he was hoping for is somehow Vicky enters the pot. I mean,
Nenad is hating this. He says, Devilfish, stop!
I wonder if Devilfish is aware that. Oh my God! He flopped a straight. He's gonna have to fold a straight.
What if the Devilfish goes all in?
What did he say?
Vic told me yesterday I went out with 3 spades on the flop. Damn.
He looks so sick.
He's in pain.
He looks so sick.
He's flopped a straight, Nenad, and he has to. I mean, he can't play a big pot. So his options are: if Fish bets, he can just move all in and basically kind of, you know, hint that he has the nuts, or he probably has to fold.
20,000.
He's going all in.
Raised all in.
He's going all in.
He insta-alled in, so he's
Cool,
sending
I
a
guess.
message. Oh no, Fish.
Phil screaming. How do you get away from this one? Okay.
Oh man, this is horrible for me.
And it's actually, it is the Devilfish all in, Phil.
It's tough to get away. Top pair and a flush draw. And a straight draw.
I don't even know. I guess I'm rooting for you. I don't even Good luck.
Nenad figured it out. He's rooting for him. I mean, I don't think Nenad thought this out.
He needed to shove all in pre-flop, didn't he? Didn't he, Phil?
Yeah, he needed to shove all in pre-flop was his only move. I mean,
to go first, right?
I need Vicky to go. This is weird. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do.
yeah, well, I think Nenad actually made. Yeah, I think he made a mistake.
You guys are still. I was hoping you guys would
You can
get
still
in.
make $20,000 if you win.
Yeah.
You know, he's rooting for a spade because otherwise the
Well,
Nenad's
an
Premier
ace
League
will
is
split
over.
the pot. An ace will split the
Oh,
pot.
ace would be so beautiful for Phil Hellmuth. And Fish and Nenad, they're all rooting for it.
There was never any fucking danger.
I don't know. Hard fish.
That is
Can I get away
sick.
from that, Ann?
No.
No.
Yeah.
The Devilfish is out of the Premier League. Wow, what a stunner, Phil. And I mean, it's hard to say. So the correct move had to be for Nenad to shove pre-flop strategically for him. He's won the hand and busted himself.
Yeah, exactly. He busted himself.
I don't know. I can't keep folding all the he's gonna they're gonna raise every hand.
You could have just shipped it all in pre-flop.
That's nice. You literally, you can't make the top 8 now, is that right?
Yeah.
Nice
Cheers,
hand.
guys. Good luck. But I got side action.
This is the silliest tournament.
This is about the first time that I've gone out without having the best hand. So I don't feel so bad, actually.
The situation now, Vicky is officially in the Premier League playoffs, at least. And your hopes now rest on Roland to Wolfe being knocked out next.
Yeah, the only way that I am going to be in the playoffs of the Premier League is if Roland to Wolfe goes out next.
It's either you or him.
I'm trying to milk Roland into the spot.
Yeah.
Come on, Roland. What are you doing phoning ace-king suited?
Yeah, I know.
And just to be fair, ace-king suited would be a correct fold for Roland right now, right? Or no?
Well, no, I don't think so. I think if he had ace-king suited, his move would just be shove. Because they don't have incentive to call him and take him out fifth. And so, actually, maybe he's supposed to fold ace-king suited now that I think about it.
Raise to 10,000.
If he had aces, kings, or maybe queens, maybe ace-king, one of those 4 hands, he could decide to ship it all in and just try to, win the pot right then and there.
You got to bet, and has Eastgate raised here with no hand? Check it out. And the re-raise with no hand.
Now they're playing the game. So
baby.
Now this is a sweet little pot here. JC Tran bet out with $5,000 with nothing, a total air ball. Eastgate re-raised with an air ball, and JC Tran re-raised with an air ball.
You got to explain it to me, Phil.
JC Tran
Why didn't I call?
is playing so well right now that when they re-bluffed him, he knew they were re-bluffing and put in the re-bluff.
He's not above the rim. There is no rim.
I root for Nenad because...
They're rooting for the guy with the shorter stack.
I root for Nenad.
It's because you like me or
No, because I know that you're going to be playing a lot of hands.
JC Tran
Yeah, you wouldn't need the
is
points.
playing so well right now that when they re-bluffed him, he knew they were re-bluffing and put in the re-bluff.
He's not above the rim. There is no rim.
Well, that was above the rim.
There's no rim at all.
The King Jack laydown
Can't
was
see the rim.
The King Jack laydown was a little bit more standard, but that was above the rim.
Okay,
Raise
I'll fold it.
6,000
Thanks for
total.
telling me.
Just for fun?
Plus. And
Just for fun.
You two just can't. The thing is, you two just can't
I
resist
just
it.
told JC I got a bad hand. He was like, just for fun? All right, so you got garbage? All right, I'll look you up.
Now you both got garbage. I can't hit
Roland
both.
just wants them to play a big pot. Come on, guys. Play a big pot for Roland.
No, I said it can't hit both of you.
Not for Phil.
Jake. 2,000.
That was kind of
Put in
weird.
the min raise. That's what it should do.
A 9, a 10, a king are JC's cards.
Yep. Wow, and he hit a 10.
2,000.
That's actually good for
Value
me.
time.
10 is good.
Cool.
10 is good.
That was actually a good flop for me. I need JC to have some chips. Eastgate has chips, JC has chips, and Medic has chips, and that's good for me. Now I need Vicky with a few more chips, too.
It's amazing, isn't it? At some point, it's all going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see Nenad bet more like, more of a pot size bet there. I mean, Jack do 7 and 8 in the turn. You have to bet it,
Phil, I think you needed really to give Nenad a little talking to him strategy-wise before this started. Don't you regret that?
Well, that's true.
You told the fish what he had to do.
I talked to Nenad. I told him that he knows. He knows the scenario.
Call. Pass.
He knew that he had. No, we talked. He knew that in order to win this, he had to bust Vicky. You know, and he. I don't know what he was thinking, but. I mean, I don't think he knows how likely it was that Vicky could have finished sixth. She couldn't play a pot.
They can't overtake Tony.
You know?
Yeah. Except by winning it, in which case you go to the final.
And Phil has to be lowest in the 8.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's only there.
Roland and Vicky can't play any pots. They could easily have finished
Well,
6th and
frankly,
5th.
Roland, you know I had a bet on you before it started to win it outright, so I'm funking for you here.
Now, this whole Premier League, we haven't seen Nenad call raises with a hand like a king 8.
I've never played heads up with
So this is kind of a exceptional hand.
Heads up, so.
As I told Phil before the match,
Well,
I wasn't
these guys are just
taking a heads-up encounter with him.
been watching Eastgate from the small blind, Phil? Or do they think that he plays a lot of pots from there?
Pretty tough.
Yeah.
Heads up.
But this isn't a blind against the blind man.
Sorry, Phil.
Oh, sorry. Of course not.
Eastgate raised under the gun, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I was looking somewhere else.
25,000.
That's a big bet.
And I think Nenad's going to fold within 10 seconds.
Queen Jack out there.
5, 4,
Queen Jack or 10 Jack?
3, 2,
Still make
1.
I'm a sicko. That's what it smells like. Yes.
Well, what Nenad's smelling, see, Nenad's really good at reading people. So what he's smelling is that Eastgate has a beat, an ace or a jack.
Take
so.
Take it.
So it took him an extra 15 seconds.
You get
but
an
he's
extra
out.
point if you.
I think I have Jack 5.
If you bluff the sub, you get an extra point in this heat. In these.
True.
That's why I should.
That's the tiebreaker.
I'm guaranteed 21, and Phil's had 21, but I bluffed you.
Yeah, that's true.
Roland still under a bit of pressure.
Hold on, both of you still aren't safe, right?
Well, I mean,
Oh, I'm okay.
How many
You are
points
for
do you
sure.
have coming into
You're
this?
for sure.
I'm definitely top 8.
She hasn't played any hands,
How
but she's
many
actually
points-
safe.
How many points
You
do you
wouldn't
have
know.
coming in this?
20. So I'm definitely in the top 8.
Uh-huh.
And if I win it, I'm in the top 4.
So you have to win. Second won't get you to
If I
top
wanted
4.
to make the top 4, I would have to win outright.
Yeah.
I heard they miscalculated Phil's points. I think he has 22.
Oh, do you? Every trick in the
Philly's
book,
just rooting for Roland to bust. That's it.
Pass.
That's his only hope.
Call.
yeah, my only hope is Roland
Raise
busts himself.
4,000 more. Call.
And the last hope of Phil Hellmuth.
Yeah. That's not very likely. It's 93,000. He's just anteing off, and that's it. I mean,
He's in the commentary box, sweating it out.
He's sweating it.
ace 7-4. Okay, so
And
Vicky's playing Eastgate style. She's checked top pair,
7,000.
and she's going to let him bluff off his money. Now, it turns out he has a 7.
Now, Eastgate has to be aware that the pressure is now off Vicky, right? I mean,
I think they discussed that, yeah.
Check.
you're actually really rooting for Vicky here, aren't you, Phil?
I mean, the only thing that Eastgate can beat right now is a flush draw, but he feels like Vicky's not going to
That's
raise,
okay.
so...
And if it comes to 7 or 8 here, Phil, you could be done.
I'll check again.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Check blind.
That's right.
Check T-side.
Is there a bet that can win Peter this pot? I mean, or does he have showdown value here? I mean, what if he ships?
I mean, I'd be surprised if... I don't think he has to bet right now. I mean...
Ace is good.
Check.
I thought you might fire again. I heard you were an aggressive player.
Yeah. I heard you were calling station.
Ooh, go on, Peter.
That's what they call me in the Vic. Victoria Station.
She had a reply for him, too.
How the long winter nights at the Vic must just fly by.
They certainly do. It's a laugh a minute.
Some very witty repertoire going on there.
Busted myself out of
Well, he can actually laugh about it.
Kind of beautiful about that.
yeah,
Heroic.
very beautiful.
Roland's laughing, but that was actually not very good for him because, you know,
Cool.
Vicky was the short stack, so...
Finally let me win a hand.
Roland is now the short stack.
And she has no pressure on her either.
busted himself.
You sure can't bust yourself out again.
Raise 5,000.
Is it a raise?
Call.
Oh, you're the big blind.
Let's get some chips in there.
The atmosphere has gotten very lighthearted here, and you can see everybody was in this one except for Roland.
So
What hand did you live? What hand did you live with that you can't call $5,000 with?
I'm drawing dead.
JC wants to know what hands they both folded for 5,000. That's a good point.
It's a bad flop for queens.
Not really. You got queens.
10,000.
Oh, yes.
Too good, the kid.
You had queens too?
Vicky had Queen Jack, which would have been ahead.
Well, Phil, it's only 3/4 of the way for the first level. Nenad's ahead, and
Look at Roland, of course. He's going to try to play the bagel ball and play 0 pots on the bet frequency and until someone gets eliminated, then he can play regular poker. If he gets eliminated, however, I'm in the playoffs, baby.
0-0, 0-0.
Busted yourself out.
I must have.
Well, I tell you what, you forced out the hand that would have won, if it's any...
I mean, how else
You
are
would've
you ever
fucked
going
the
to dry the
fuck
pot and still play
If
the
you had ace
hand
queen,
back?
just there.
Oh, no. I'm
the
talking
one
about
with,
that hand. I'm talking about me busting
I
myself.
warned Nenad not to do that.
I'm still not over that. I'm still not quite...
If he would have been over in the
My
league, he
bad
would have
for you.
understood,
You,
you know, that
5,000 total.
the
won,
pressure
you ended
that
up winning the
Vicky
hand.
and
You play the hand back.
Roland are under, and they could easily get down to 30, 40,000 and be
You got it
forced
all
to make
right.
a stand,
Yeah.
You
or
got
they
it
could
all
ante
right.
all the way
Still
The
play
down.
best
You
hand
know?
the whole way through every street. You got the maximum.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You maximize out your hand
You got the
and
maximum
he
and the
still played
minimum
it
at the
bad. I
same
mean,
time. Weird.
That was a really bad play on Nenad's part, unfortunately.
I think he's starting to actually feel kind of bad about it.
Well, I think he
Fold the
figured
flop
it
or
out
fold
that,
the
wow, I
pre-flop.
made a mistake.
Just
I don't think
re-raise
he-
pre-flop.
Yeah,
Can't call
yeah.
in. There's no point
You
in
know.
that pre-flop.
Check.
Right, that's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, either ship it pre-flop
fold.
or fold it
7,000.
pre-flop, that's all.
Could even fold the flop. It
You
probably
used to just want to play every pot
Pass.
against each other.
I think Serb figured it out. He's
We should
probably
practice.
supposed to fold the flop there.
We already told us each other that. We gotta practice.
He actually had the perfect seat at the table when you think about it, Phil. Because the one guy he didn't want to go bust against was like, the Devilfish who was playing kind of crazy. It was like set up perfect, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Tilted
What a smooth call here. Flop.
There's no point in going all in pre-flop. Like you got, because I was after you two. So I go all in pre-flop, but
But they're on auto fold right now, so.
yeah, well,
Rolling this. No, I'm talking about when we were six-handed.
I've been in this situation
One
last
thing
year.
about Nenad, I think he
Like
showed up
there
late
were
today,
13
Jesse.
all-ins before
And I
managed
think
to
that
bust.
because of that, he didn't
And you
understand
didn't
all
make-
the hand scenarios. I took him aside immediately
made a-
because I know
I
that
ran
was
into
in
the heads
his
up, but I
best
was made
interest,
the
was in
top.
my
Oh, it was
best
a big
interest,
top.
and I
was the
explained to him
funniest thing I've
exactly what was going
Except
on.
it wasn't.
you gotta watch
But I
that
just don't
episode.
think
I
that
saw it.
everybody else kind of knew, all right, I can still do this, I
13
can still do
all-ins
that, I
ahead of
need
me.
this
Tony G,
player
like,
to do this, I
dominated
need this
5
player to
times.
do that. And Nenad was explained, but I
Even
just
though it
don't
was
think that it
terrible
maybe
for
had
me
enough
because I
time to
needed
sink in.
Even for
Not
people
to
who
win,
have played
staying
millions
in
of
it.
hands, have lots of experience, won bracelets, this format is unique, especially in the latter
Well,
stages, Phil,
6,000
tactically, isn't it? Where else in poker do you know you have to finish ahead of someone else?
Exactly right.
Call.
When you see
give it
Nenad
up.
Medic like sitting at a table online.
I call up everybody.
They changed me to Serb. They
Yeah.
changed my avatar to a donkey.
Check.
If I have the diamond, I'm gonna bet. Check.
Check.
He's got a diamond, Phil.
Diamond.
He lied. What a shocker,
Was
a
it
poker
check?
player lied
Yeah.
during a hand.
I'll take a diamond.
5 of diamonds.
Is that a good betting card for Nenad or a better checking card still?
Surprised he didn't bet that.
Check.
Value time.
2,000.
You should just check it and win.
Value time.
And then you get to see JC's cards.
Yeah, and you get to see what I call you with. Like, The jack.
We've seen some fantastic call downs in this Premier League.
I had the jack.
Of course, your call with the against JC Tran, a couple of them. We've seen some jack highs call down, and
He has 26.
tell you what,
And it has 25.
there's a lot of squeezes for value.
I heard somebody called with Jack high in one of the other heats, and the other guy had queens full or whatever.
It was Andy called Roland down jack high.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
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 One of you will definitely
Yes.
be in the heads
Yes.
up.
Yes. And the other one will join Andy, Nenad, and Dave.
Raise
If
to
you bust
6,000
next,
total.
you're going to be playing rolling heads up.
Cool.
Right?
No, I can't play her heads up. I don't think.
If she busts next.
Pass.
No, I don't think so. No, she's not. She's going to be playing Tony. Because it.
Pass.
Oh, top bottom versus top bottom.
Yeah.
What is
Cool.
Yeah.
There's a raise from Peter,
So that I play a net, what has to happen?
call from Nenad, and call from Vicky in the big blind.
Yeah, I have to not come fifth,
You have to
and then that would be the default situation.
And look at me here. This is good stuff for
Okay.
Coren.
Yeah, she flopped a set here,
If you're not
and these guys are like in an aggressive betting mode here. So
Looks like
let's see if Nenad figures it out. I mean,
What if I'm fifth, though?
Then you're playing Tony
12,000.
for sure.
Vicky's trying to figure out here. She doesn't really. She knows she wants to win, but she's not sure, Phil, if where she places has to do with who she plays heads up, or even who she wants to play heads up, which really.
you see, Vicky's so passive, and and if she just
Maybe
calls
one of these
there.
episodes that just
Oh
tortures-
no,
just
that was
torture me.
bad. I would like to see Vicky
dive.
slow play the hand, and
It's a dive
if
for
she's
you.
going to let people run her over all the time, then
Did you figure out who you play if you bust now? Have you figured that part out?
No comment.
No comment.
so I'd like to see her when she flops a set in this position, give Nenad the chance to try to bluff her a couple of more times. Why just go ahead and just re-raise and let him know that you're strong? See, this would have been a great situation for Nenad, say half an hour ago, because he can move on with King Queen high, and at least he has some chance of hitting the running Jack 9 or the running Jack Ace.
By the way, Phil, basically, if Vicky does bust fifth, it's not for sure who she'll play in the heads up, because
Right.
it'll also depend on where Roland finishes. Because Vicky beats Roland on tiebreakers at this stage.
Thank you for folding, Nenad. No need to get too crazy. This is just tough for me to watch. I mean, Roland has 90,000 in chips. I mean, I'm gonna have to watch. I have to hope
pull
for
the
no
trigger,
one to
Phil.
go broke
No.
for like
If you
70 or
don't think
80
so.
more hands. It's
a good
ridiculous.
60, yeah, a good 70 hands. A good 70 hands.
70 hands this man can ante off for.
Well, how do you think
And
Roland
I have to
feels?
sit here and pray
I think
that
as long as
no.
I get, like,
Peter
1 or 2
Eastgate
points more than you.
scoring with the banter. He's in the Premier League spirit now. This mood has really lightened.
I nearly got him, though, didn't I? I nearly did.
Raise to 6,000 total. Pass.
I don't even know if Roland's looking right now. He doesn't need to.
Cool. Pass.
Wow, he just passed Ace Jack even.
Pass.
What do you need?
Yeah, of course he passed Ace Jack.
Jack
I
or the
mean,
three?
He just
What
wants
can
to
he do?
outplay you in a pot.
I know. So every time I raise, it's just auto call. Okay.
look at this. Roland would have the best hand.
Check.
Tran's checking the ace and the flush draw. Is he trying to trap the serve?
Wow, Roland would have made aces and jacks. He must be sick.
9,000.
Look at his face.
There's a nod. He fired with an air ball.
Now, Tran can't obviously fold, but is raising a better option
Well,
than calling?
the reason he's thinking about raising is there's 3 hearts on board, and he only has the 8 of hearts. And in his mind, if Nenad's bluffing, he may have maybe bluffing with the 10 of hearts in his hand and some other random card.
Check.
Check.
I think I have the 8 of hearts.
And Phil, I mean, that's past a little chips from Nenad Medic to JC Tran. Everybody now above Roland to Wolfe, who I think is officially now the bottom stack. All the pressure. Can you see it just sort of weighing down his shoulders now?
No, basically whatever happens,
Basically, he needs someone to go broke in the next 70 hands.
Welcome back to Premier League Poker. One has fallen, leaving 5 on this
I'm not
table.
worried about all that.
Well, yeah. That's obviously plan A.
Pass.
It's really, it's not for sure Vicky's going to play, so I think she's probably
Raise to 6,000 total.
better off taking their advice, really. Just raise it to 6 here. We're still
Well,
on the first level.
you
yeah.
can see she's starting to drink the wine. So, and I mean,
Did you
actually,
say I should bluff here?
I said, what are you laughing at?
Oh.
The guy that busted himself.
and actually,
Why
I
would
think
that be
3 or
bad
4
if you
glasses of
actually
wine,
bluff
and she'll be
Well,
shipping the
it
money
would
in, and
affect
she has a
how I
chance.
play the rest of the hand.
Well, Vicky's got the 4.
Which is the
Check.
best hand.
Check.
Okay.
She
Check.
needs to bet it. Oh, don't check. I mean, that's a great flop for her. She only has to really worry about a king. And she should have bet. And she would have won the pot if she did bet.
And as Eastgate, this is just sort of
8,000.
betting to protect your hand here.
Yeah, now Eastgate hit in 8, and now she's
Cool.
going to pay it off. Well, why not bet that $8,000 on the flop rather than call it with the worst hand on the turn? You know, when you flop second pair with an ace kicker, that's a pretty strong holding. It's a great flop. Great card for Eastgate.
15,000.
There's a free
Cool.
15,000. Oh, man.
I think I value betted the worst hand again. I got an 8.
An 8 is good.
So I kind of just hate the way
Only
she
against
played
me, you
that.
value bet
She
the worst
checked
hand.
the flop,
Everybody else, you value bet
and
the worst
then,
hand.
you know, and then when an 8
Sorry.
came, she paid off 2 bets.
No, no.
So, I mean, she basically gave him a free card, then paid him off when he hit.
Peter's given Vicky problems several times in this Premier League, and as Peter said, he thought he value betted the worst hand then again, only against JC Tran. He does that all the time. But against Vicky that time, worked out for Peter.
Yeah, it worked out well. I you know.
Yeah, on the flop.
There was an ace on the flop?
Yeah.
Give me the money back.
It's hard for you to watch this, Phil, isn't
Didn't
it?
have an ace.
It's
Don't you
kind of
wanna be
hard.
down there?
Yeah, I really do.
With your fate in your own hands.
Yeah.
Sorry, can't do this.
Pass.
But I knew what I was
Nice.
getting into. I knew that I had
Raise
to have.
to 5,000.
I knew that I had to pick up at least 3 points,
Cool.
and I just didn't do it.
Sure, Roland?
Pass.
You know what the
You wanna see a full-
The ironic thing is, if I picked up 3 points, I was through. I was going to make it. But 2 points, I had to hope for something exceptional. So it comes down to what? 1 point in the Premier League.
Wow, that's amazing.
Check.
Still plenty of action here, Phil. You've still got hope.
6,000.
And hope's a good thing.
Cool.
Now, see, I don't blame Nenad for just calling with a 7 here. Let's see if Eastgate can continue to run phenomenally well and hit a
What
queen
do you
or a
mean? You've
9.
eliminated a player.
That's a good card for Eastgate. He has an open
Check.
now.
Eliminated a
But he
player.
knows that
Two
Nenad
players
has something.
in the Premier
Nenad,
League. You knocked down one
Eastgate
hand.
knows that Nenad has a
This is
pair
really busted.
or maybe
You only
8-9.
took one out.
12,000.
Nice bet from Peter here, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think 12,000 is a good bet. I mean, I think he's kind of expecting to get called, but he has a chance to win it with a bet. I think Nenad's going to call him, but let's see.
His plan, obviously, I guess, Phil, was just to sort of evaluate this turn card. I mean, and
Cool.
And he called. Nenad just played excellent poker. That's why I bet him to win this thing. And
he's just got a sense. He's got some kind of inkling here.
well, I mean, you know, look at this Eastgate again. Wow, he's so lucky, and he
Check.
bet the turn too, which he didn't have to do, and hit the queen. Sick.
And now that he's gotten this far,
now he can bet, you know, 18,000, 20,000.
22,000.
Yeah, 22, right in that range. It's a good bet, and I don't think that Nenad's going to pay it off.
I didn't even get in this situation. Guess what mode I went into?
I know.
What am I doing? Just tilted. Busted myself.
he's reevaluating. This is good for him to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sit back and think about it.
Or next week when I'm writing, I might ring you to remind me of the details of that hand. Will you remember them?
Yeah.
But he's thinking it out, and, you know, I mean, if he calls, I can't criticize the call. If he folds, I have to give him a lot of credit for, you know, making maybe the best fold so far
Bluff got there.
of the heat.
People have called the Devilfish has been unlucky, and you've been a bit unlucky. This Nenad, he has played well. He's He's played well at every stage in this Premier League, Phil. He cannot win. He couldn't beat himself out of a paper bag. The cards have been horrible to him.
You call when you're in front.
But I wonder if that.
When I hit, you don't call.
Right,
You got the queen?
Well, the Serb may never come back to London, but the first level, and wow, Eastgate's just running away with it. I mean, and just wonder.
Look at all those pots Roland's playing.
He's got the 0-0.
You're betting on yourself again, kid.
Lines up to
Maybe.
2 and
I was
4,000.
trying live today, kind of. Although I busted myself later.
Tilt.
He's just sinking in now, really.
How much you got down there?
I began the hand with about 80, I want to say.
You want to say
35, hold on, that's 35, 40, 50, 60, 70.
Now,
80,
JC has raised this from the button, Phil, and Peter's asked him for a count.
No, I counted that already, 35.
Well, that's right. He what he's trying to do is he's trying to determine whether he can just move all in. And he has a chip stack where he can take a chance and be wrong and still have 100,000 left. So he's trying to get a read on JC Tran here. And he decided, you know what, I'll just take the easy route and just call it.
Is there
If
any
he would have moved, then he would have won it.
Check.
Yeah, he would have.
Now, here's the thing. Tran's been kind of alerted to the fact that
Cool.
that Eastgate has the kind of hand that he could re-raise with, and therefore likely contains an ace.
So he thinks Peter is capable of having a lot of aces here. Yep.
Oh yeah, well for sure. He knows that he was thinking about re-raising him. I think Tran will give it up right now. He'll just check.
$18,000.
I'm kind of surprised he took another bullet here, but if it works, it's brilliant. It's just a matter of whether Eastgate has the nose to smell the bluff right now.
Why is that?
He's given up.
Well played.
Now, let me tell you something. After this match is over, he's going to run back to the green room, and he's going to say, what did he have? What did he have? And they're going to tell him he had 10-8 of clubs. And that's going to help Eastgate's read against JC in the finals.
But he's been playing with this guy the entire Premier League. They've played 5 times. It's the 5th time they've played. They've played heads up twice. I mean, and yet JC just seems to be able to take it up a notch every time.
Yeah, I mean, but that's, JC tried to bluff me a couple of times, and I made some calls on him. I saw something in the way he was betting, and the way he was moving his head, and the way he shifted his eyes, and I was able to pick up on that.
You made an unbelievable call, and Roland Wolfe just folded King Jack suited.
Yeah, what can he do?
9,000 total.
I mean, what can he do?
How funny would it be, Phil, if Roland, he's been a little bit card dead this whole Premier League. What if he just gets hit with the deck for the rest of this season? Can you imagine?
I mean, he had
Pocket
ace
tens,
jack.
ace queen, like.
Yeah, there's Vicky. Yeah, that's fine.
25,000.
That's fine. I mean, the re-raise is just fine. Call 9, re-raise 16 more.
What price Roland Wolfe to get hit with the deck for the next 40 hands?
Are you still trying to bust out? Huh?
JC's just talking. He's folding 100% here.
Like the plus is you might have an easier heads-up match with somebody. The minus is you will have to play heads-up.
Is there a feeling that you would rather play heads up against Tony G than Ned Overstott? Do you think? Oh.
That's a good question. I think there is a feeling. I think people have a preference, on who they want to play heads up, and I'm not sure honestly who I'd want to play between Nenad and Tony G.
I know who the audience. I know who the public wants to see.
Yeah, they probably want me to play against Tony G, right? But I mean, if I can pick something up on a net, she's younger.
Right.
She's only 20, and she might not disguise when she's strong and when she's weak. And you know, and actually, I read Tony pretty well.
I don't know. I think
and Tony
fight for some points too.
I guess I'd prefer to play Tony by just a little bit, but it depends on who's more informed between the two of them. You know?
I'm just trying to, you know what I mean?
Trying to make it an interesting show, interesting final table.
Tony's just capable in a heads-up match of just shoving it all in with 4s or 5s. So's Annette, but I think Tony would do it more often. And that's good for me, you know.
So tilted.
I'm tilted too, because I need a Devilfish here. If Devilfish was here, that was an all-in automatic.
You?
Yeah.
Well, what do you care? You see, I think you can put me all in. You can afford it. Yes, you can afford to throw some crumbs to the impoverished.
He was thinking about folding there, and everyone saw it. Peter Eastgate, didn't
Let's see if Nenad can get a little jiggy here and just move in. I mean, this is such a weird scenario. Sure he can. I mean, Eastgate's been raising and raising and raising, and let's see if Nenad can put a read on Eastgate.
He did. I mean, you just can't be doing that
Yes,
against this level of players. No,
Yes,
I mean,
he can.
what I mean is showing them that you're about to fold and then raising, right?
There
I mean,
he goes.
Nenad picked it up. He just picked it right up, didn't he? And Roland's a dead seat.
And there he goes. So I mean, that was a beautiful play on Nenad's part, and he just knows that Eastgate knows that Roland has to fold. And therefore, if Roland has to fold, Eastgate's going to raise a lot of buttons, and Nenad has to make a move back. And I thought he'd make a move, and he did it.
Phil, it's that strategy, isn't it? You know, when you're at a tournament table and there's an empty seat where someone has actually kind of gone to the bathroom or is up, showing up three levels late. I don't know who would do that in a major tournament, but there is a strategy for playing an empty seat, right?
There is, and a beautiful plan on Nenad's part right there.
What level did you show up?
I don't want to say it's standard. I mean, to Dur, it's standard, but
Yeah, the guy covered.
You can't do the same again, Roland. You really can't.
but I like Nenad just waited and waited and waited, and he finally made his play, and he picked up, you
It's
know,
unethical.
14, 15,000 at the right time.
It's just bad for him. It's bad for him. It
Bad for
doesn't.
poker, Roland. You shouldn't be doing this.
What about you?
You shouldn't be doing
How
this.
ethical is busting yourself?
No, because if you're not at the table and the kings go to the muck, it's not so bad, right? If you're at the table and you folded kings and the general public saw it and didn't
Didn't understand the situation.
Huh?
They think I had a great read.
It's
Playing
really not
tight.
right. What you're
Playing
doing is
tight. I'll be able to steal a
what
few
you're
more
doing is
bluffs.
not
Eastgate versus Tran again.
the equivalent of.
And Eastgate flopped an open under, but I don't think he wants to mess with Tran anymore. Now, wait a minute. Eastgate's hit a straight.
It's the nuts.
Now, let's
What do
see
you
if
mean,
Tran
going for a
can,
walk?
you know.
You should play. It doesn't. You can't do it.
Yeah. See,
Didn't work last time.
Tran made a
Phil
move
deserves
with
more than
Jack
this. He's done
high
so much for the game.
at the right
He
time.
doesn't deserve. He's in the booth.
I thought you said that last year I did exactly the right strategy.
Hey Phil, I'm trying to bust Roland, but he's not playing the hand. Sorry, bud.
Probably still is the right strategy.
I'm really trying to bust his kid, but he's not playing the hand.
He's rooting for you, buddy. He is. That's what he says.
Pass. Go.
Roland just threw away the ace-jack.
Still no.
No worries.
And what can he do? You know, I mean, Roland has two choices. I mean, and it's going to be, there's going to be a point where he's going to have to make a decision, but he can never just raise. He's either going to have to move all in or fold, and that's the only option he has. He's going to move all in, or he's going to fold pre-flop. And
It's not gotten to that stage yet, Phil, but actually he did come under some criticism last year, Roland. When he got down to about 3 or 4 big blinds, you remember last year, after about 70 hands, he folded pocket 8. So there was a couple.
Well,
Annie Duke was very critical of him.
well, he had 5 big blinds.
Yeah.
And he had 2 8s, and it was just the time to ship it in there.
Raise to 8,000.
be a true
We got
test.
action here, Phil.
How can you not be priced in?
This is going to be a true test.
It's a min raise. It's only 4,000.
Let's see.
How can he fold any 2 cards here?
Come on, Roland.
I can't play it.
If it's only 4,000 more, he has to play because
He could flop the nuts.
he could flop the nuts.
This is bad. This is bad. This is bad.
It's bad for my reputation.
This is almost. Anyway.
I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be.
Phil's in the booth. I can't say what I want to say. Check.
We have got action. Medic, 2 pair. And he's
Yep,
checked
and
it.
Eastgate with
Eastgate checked this on the button.
good check. Maybe he saw something.
And look at this.
Wow, and Tran now hit something.
So did Vicky's got top pair, top kicker.
Oh my God, this is just horrid for
Phil,
me.
you could be out here.
This is just horrid for me.
15,000.
And let's hope Tran can just get away. He knows it's pretty dangerous.
Really? I mean,
just watch and see. I mean, this is the stuff that you figure out. You know, this is.
What about Vicky? How's she gonna get away from this, Phil?
Well, I don't know if let's see what happens with Vicky. Vicky will probably call, but JC folded. Now, that's a fantastic laydown, but that's the kind of laydown that you're supposed to make when you're world champion caliber. And of course, Vicky doesn't have that sophistication yet, so she just raised it instead.
Phil, Vicky Coren may, by not getting knocked out, be about to bust you out of this Premier League.
I'm pretty aware of that.
Just 50. Just like that.
This is a dream situation for Nenad if they were 6-handed. I mean, see, there's a difference between JC, Tran, and Vicky. JC just mucked the queen, which was, you know, that's what great players do. You know, they know that they take a look at Nenad and they say, wow, he has a strong hand.
What could you have on that flop?
Vicky always bets her hands on the flop. Always. Very predictable. You know, and therefore it looks like she hit a queen. You know, I mean, she would have bet with a set on the flop.
I think he's going to get it right, Phil, because he's gotten everything right.
He really has. Yep.
Re-raise all in.
I don't think I can pass. Give me a couple of seconds to think about it.
Well, she actually has kind of an easy laydown. Wow. What is she thinking?
Well
I have 2 pairs. Like, there's not much.
I can't.
Wow.
So there you go.
Well, I think she could have passed there. Kind of surprised she called. I mean, he bet out big, she raised big, and he moved all in. What is she hoping that he could have? I mean, king, queen? He's not going to make that move with king, queen.
Phil, is it?
Who are you rooting for?
Wow. I mean, this is really sick.
See you later. See you tomorrow.
All right, I'm out. I've been eliminated.
What am I going to do?
Nothing.
Oh. Because she had to misplay the hand, and only because of that, I'm eliminated from the Premier League.
Thanks, buddy.
Sick.
To be honest, I don't think I was ever Phil's favourite player, but yeah, he must be cross with me today because he needed Roland to be the next out to still be in. But, you know, what can I do? I've got to play for my own results. I can't be worrying about Phil Hellmuth.
Back to Premier League Poker. I'm joined by the poker brat himself, Phil
What
Hellmuth.
difference do I play?
Does it?
This four-handed, as Roland says, he's in a weird spot. And he is, Phil, because he knows that by winning he can go to the final table. But depending on what place he finishes in, that will directly affect who he plays. So it's interesting. If he busts now, for instance, he will definitely play, Tony G.
Well, he wants to win it, and you know, he wants to win it. That's what he's going to play for. He's not really worried about. He's not really even thinking who he's going to play heads up at this point. And the Nenad Medic, there's Eastgate with the raise and a nice re-raise from the Nenad here. And Eastgate has to make a decision.
Nenad's got a lot of chips now.
Nenad has a chip lead, and he made a good raise with the best hand. And now they're playing poker. Now it's a four-handed poker game. There's nothing special going on here. Every one of these guys is trying to win it. Every one of these guys wants the maximum chips at the final table. And Roland is obviously thrilled. I mean, he must be just... I mean, here's a guy that had all the heat and pressure on him. And now he's made it. He's made it. Congratulations, Roland. It hurts that you took me out, but congratulations. And now he has a chance to take it to the next level.
You nearly folded that.
He still has 74,000 left. It could have been so much worse for him if Nenad played a little bit different strategy against Devilfish early. Roland could easily have anteed down to 40,000 in chips. But now with 74,000, he's right back in it. He has a chance to win.
Raise 11,000 total.
What were you thinking about?
So how about that? Not being relegated to a shot at making it right into the Final Four, Jesse.
Amazing. It's amazing.
Huh?
That's the swing that Roland the Wolfe was about.
And I had the same swing today, 6th and 5th,
So he's either pushing
and I'm relegated.
100% of the time.
Or I go to, or if I would have won it, I was guaranteed to make the Final Four.
It's crazy. This was
crazy
Premier
stuff,
League.
right?
It
Yeah.
was so tight. It's never been this tight.
12,000.
So far, Nenad has just an absolutely perfect read on Eastgate. And he's taken advantage of it. He's come over the top of him 2 or 3 times. He's just played beautifully against him. By the way, so has J.C. Tran played beautifully against him. Re-raised him with ace-high earlier in the match. So these two guys are looking at Eastgate and they're saying, we have a read on you. And that's something that Eastgate's going to have to shore up. He's only 22 years old. He won the World Series of Poker, but he beat a bunch of amateurs. Now he's playing against some of the top pros in the world. And these guys, that's what they do for a living, is read people.
Yeah, well, he's got 29 points. He's, or more now. He's got at least 32.
You
but,
know, guarantee you.
I mean,
well, I'm just commenting on, on the flow of the match so far.
No, you're right.
Today.
And it's going to be exciting.
10,000 total.
Wow, Eastgate with another hand here. Let's see if he can.
We raise to 27,000 total.
27,000.
Only 17 more to JC here. And JC knows I think JC's going to figure out that he's beat. He may decide to call 17,000 more anyway.
Isn't it amazing how JC he just makes great decisions. I mean, just all the time.
Well, I mean, he that's what he does. I mean, that's what he does. He's a champion player, and he's studying Eastgate. You could see him looking at him, trying to decide whether or not Eastgate could beat Queen 10 of Hearts. And right now, Tran's capable of moving all in. He's capable of folding, and he's capable of calling, depending on what he thinks is right. And in this case, yeah, he's given Eastgate a hand. He's correctly read him and decided to fold.
I think you have one of my card.
That's exactly what he's thinking. He's thinking that...
I probably do.
He's thinking that it could well be ace-10, and that's why he didn't call.
I think Phil was happy when that queen came down on the turn.
So, Jesse, relegated is not a word we use in the U.S. very often, but I know what it feels like to be relegated from last year, and now I know what it's like to be relegated by 1 single point.
Call.
Ouch.
And you're gonna think back to that heads-up match against J.C. Tran, aren't you? I mean, you had him. You had him by the...
Yeah, I mean, I made a great call against J.C. Tran. I felt like I deserved to win that match.
So bad.
And they gave me ace-king suited, and that alone would have put me in the finals.
Check. Check. 6,000.
And let's see, Nenad's out. Let's see what Roland does. He has a flush draw. He has no pressure anymore. He's going to ship it.
Yeah.
You
And
monster.
JC's going to have to fold this hand.
Take it.
Yeah. JC really can't even study
Go all in.
because he
Coming back to
can't,
anything.
Roland hasn't made a move, and someone finally just ships it all in on you, and you have second pair a lot of
I
times.
paid 1-1-1 for me.
It's a real tough spot to be in.
And the Wolf can go for the win now. He can go for the win.
Self-busting
He's got
setup.
nothing but air in his shoes.
I can't wait to tell the Wolves that's Sub had to make sure that he didn't knock anyone else out.
Call.
Knocked out Devilfish.
Roland's not going to stop with that either. I mean, poor Nenad. He's
I'll
got
tell you-
all the chips, and they're still making fun of him.
Check. Check.
Well, one thing about this group, they're all good at sticking the needle in,
Oh,
as
boy.
I've discovered. Wow.
Strong, isn't it?
And I'm good at it too, so I can't complain.
Raise.
Look at this. Look at this, Phil.
Now, there you go.
9-4. Check raise. It's not a
Right.
huge pot, but it's big enough, isn't it?
So here we go. JC Tran has made a bet with absolute air, and the Nenad Medic somehow has a read on him, has made a raise with absolute air. The action's back to JC, and JC is probably going to have to fold.
How do you
Now,
make that read?
He was able to make the re-raise against Eastgate, but against the Nenad, it's not quite as easy.
Show you one.
I'll show you one. That was very clever.
He showed them both. He showed them both one time.
He did show them both. If he showed him 9-4, if he really did show them both,
He
that
did.
was a mistake. Because JC
If
Tran
he's commentating.
is really, really good at reading people, and you don't want to give him that free, this is what I look like when I'm weak. You don't want to do that. That's why I was able to
Who's more
play
tilted,
Dur
you or
so
Phil?
tough. That's why I was able to move in on him a bunch of times and start playing
Who's more
against
tilted,
him.
you or Phil?
Because I could see what he looked like when he was bluffing, and I could see what he looked like when he had the nuts.
And JC uses it all that, doesn't he? He uses
Of course.
all that.
Yeah, you don't want to. You want to do that.
You think JC might ask Nenad how many points he's got
You
in
just
the
had to,
league?
hope that I went out and no one lost
He
his
might.
mind in the first. I haven't looked yet, buddy. So now I've looked, and I will not be exercising my option. I don't exercise much these days. Peter Eastgate. Good year for you in poker?
Pretty good.
Check.
Can't complain, right?
Can't complain.
Check.
And Roland Wolfe, look at the temperament. He's talking. He's feeling
Eight of
good.
diamonds.
He's joking about Peter Eastgate.
It's all come great, yeah.
He was just incredibly quiet
It's true.
as he
He's
folded
just
hand
straight
after hand
couple
after
shot.
hand. Now he's in the final. He's got a little bit of spunk. He's got a little bit of fire. He's got a little bit of energy back.
Starts with pressure, ends with free roll. I mean, that's like, you know? I mean, come on. It's
Under
like-
the most intense pressure for about an hour.
Yeah.
And all of a
Now, what are
sudden
you doing with
now,
those chips?
everything's all right, baby. I have a chance to make the finals.
Like, really, what do you do in my spot there? He raises ace king. You guys are both behind. I have to call, right?
No, you don't.
Can't just fold all day.
I mean, it's a
Fold it or move it.
Pass.
Why? I don't want to play him.
Pass.
Like, if I re-raise,
No,
like,
but there's,
I was hoping that them
there's
two would-
zero chance these two are gonna be
What
in
is
for
it gonna
10,000.
do? Like, he's got king. I don't know. Like, or she's got. I don't know.
Raise 8,000
weird spot.
more.
Not really. You're just supposed to re-raise. Folding's the other option.
What, re-raise, then he goes all in and I fold.
No, you just re-raise all in. You add to your stack. Have you seen any heads-up matches around here?
Check.
Peter's raised us out of the big blind and Tran's called from the small.
Needle fish, fillet in the box.
What you got there?
Roland's telling Nenad what he should have done now with the ace king. And I guess Peter's somewhere between
You got some time off now, Philly.
betting this flop and
Check.
taking the free card. Yeah, he's just checked the flop.
Yep,
And-
he just checked himself
Check.
into a loser is what happened. And Tran checked again, and now Eastgate's gonna. Now I bet Tran calls him.
Well, now JC's down to about
5,000.
45,000 here, Phil. So JC is close to making a decision for all his chips, I think. I don't know how much. Yeah, Eastgate's moved him in.
45.
You have to
Eastgate has
understand,
moved him in.
this is not an easy call for most of the world. Okay, I mean,
Why'd you check the flop?
but I think Tran's going to think it through, and he's going to say, all right, what's going on? And Tran's going to think to himself, is it possible? Eventually, he's going to reach the conclusion that either Eastgate has Queen 10, King 10, or nothing. I mean, it's just a weird bet for him to move all in. It doesn't make any sense. The bet doesn't make sense. If he has a jack, he wouldn't have bet that much.
Phil,
And I like the way JC. See, JC's very logical. He's like, all right, if he had ace queen, he would have probably bet the flop. That's true.
Pass.
He's laid it down.
Wow.
Do I have a drink coming?
He said many times, Phil, that he'd rather make a bad pass than a bad call. And I mean, how bad does this guy want it? He's not even willing to do anything marginal for his last 45,000.
I think it was a pretty strong hand.
How many points do you have, Roland? If you were to bust now?
22.
Huh?
22.
22? And what does she have?
The only thing that
She
made
has 22
it
as well?
look like a bluff to me was the size of the bet.
So if I
And
win,
yet,
I'll have 21.
Peter
Just
found
confuse
it's
me.
finding
Wow.
ways to stay in this, isn't he?
Absolutely.
His
But yeah, Peter's not under pressure. He's at 186,000.
I came to play. Let's make no mistake about it.
Here comes Roland, and here comes JC. Mount up.
You raise all in.
oh my!
All
42
in,
was the
all
count.
in. Now Eastgate is going to ask for a count.
Well, how strong is the ace jack against this raise and re-raise?
Well, he only has 42,000, JC. So,
Call.
yeah, I'm not surprised to see him call.
Everybody, let's go.
Be fun.
Pass.
I thought you came to play.
I did.
And then?
I played.
Well, I think DeWolf's thinking, okay, Tran's going to go out, but DeWolf should be thinking a couple of
This is
things.
a spot,
One,
huh?
if I do get lucky and catch a flop, I could easily end up with a lot of chips. Two, if I fold JC, is probably going to go out.
For me, I mean the first bet.
He would have folded this hand in any other heat right away, but he studied.
2 total, so it's 30 more to match the bet.
Of course, if he could see Tran's hand, he would fold.
Right.
But he can't.
Fold.
Pass.
And I thought he might fold, but I like the fact that he studied.
Right there. That's what I like to see.
Me too.
I could have got it in really bad shape if I tried.
Slight difference, however, is that if Roland does make it to third, he is all of a sudden playing a net rather than Tony G.
Yeah.
So Eastgate's about a 6-4 favorite here.
Queen J.
And interestingly enough, Phil, if Tran goes out, this will be his worst result in all 6 matches in the Premier League. He's never yet got worse than second.
Yeah, again, I predicted. I
Whatever
think he's
won,
just a little
sure.
tired. I mean, I know what it's like to get there every
for his
day.
man.
It just takes a lot out of you.
All right, boys. Get him.
3 points for JC, Phil. That is going to leave him at
The fourth player to bust
45.
today.
He's going to have $450,000 and be chip leader at the final table.
What?
Good series, man.
And for
40
Peter Eastgate,
45
a
points
chance
is
to
gonna
win
be a
this,
long time before they
he
do
could
that.
actually
We'll get him, kid.
be
Working that
within
money.
60,000 of JC Tran.
I don't know what to do. I haven't busted out this early in a while.
Nenad out of the league, but there's pride and money here. One thing that's going to change is DeWolf's bet frequency. He's going to get his groove on.
I try to get aggressive here and there, but I had a pretty bad start, lost some chips, and then didn't have like a big stack to be like super aggressive, and I really didn't feel like I played well today, so.
Well, the final 3, Phil,
23.
blinds up to 3 and 6,000.
Yeah, but
It's actually
Vicky is
quite
number
early to get
22,
here.
and I would have a
And when
win
you talk about who's
22.
playing for the most, I guess it's really Roland who has the most to win.
Yeah, Roland definitely has the most to win. Nenad has nothing to win now, and Eastgate has nothing to win either. I mean, just a few
Raise
more
to
chips at the final
16,000
table. So
total.
I'll tell you something. I would not have predicted these 3 because I would have thought that Roland would have got
Roland.
short on chips from anteing off, but because of some weird kind of fast play stuff from some of the other guys,
Maybe you might have to.
here he finds
You
himself
qualify over there?
with a shot.
Sir.
That's okay.
And what about Nenad? I mean, ace-deuce, not a great hand. But
Nenad is thinking Roland
the
could
guy.
easily have king-queen. That's what you put someone on when you decide to call with ace-deuce. You always put him on king-queen. He's going to be very
Hope you got
pleased
a
when he
king.
sees king-deuce. There it is. I hope you have a king. Yeah.
See the flush.
Call.
wow, and what a
That's a match
spot
up
for
pretty good.
Medic.
Are you kidding, Ace Deuce?
Look at the disappointment on Roland's face. He went with king deuce. He's
Have you
overcoated.
seen her?
So it's only 27% here for Roland. Look
a
at
king
this.
like that.
Nenad has been absolutely the unluckiest.
More like
Devilfish
it.
thinks he's been the unluckiest, but Nenad has been
This is how it's
I don't know.
gone.
the unluckiest. But it's not over yet. Yes, it is.
Thank you for
That'd be
coming
good. That'd be good night, Irene.
out. Thanks for coming out. Yep.
Wow! Look at that.
I got there. I got there.
You qualified.
Look at that.
Ace for the needle.
Ace is up.
You know, I mean, that's sad.
Listen, Nenad Medic doesn't hate
How
the
did I not
deck,
have the
but
best
the
hand?
deck does not
Raising the
like
button.
Nenad.
Roland, just making the final 8, your timing is good.
Raise.
Roland
16,000
will
total.
play a net. That's correct. Roland will play a net.
Unless he wins
Unless he wins, in which case...
he would play Tony, and she would get stuck playing Dur.
Right.
Re-raise
Right.
to 43,000
Roland can only
total.
play a net or Tony, and Vicky
Roland
has a
can take
chance
one.
of playing Dur if Roland
Pass.
wins. Wow, she's really rooting against Roland here.
Yep. And see, now there, Eastgate put a nice move on, you know, was it a move? Not really, he had the best hand, but he re-raised with King 9. So in order to make that re-raise, you're either doing brute force or you have a read. So let's give Eastgate credit for having a read on Roland and making a nice re-raise.
It's that thing. I mean, you're talking about guys getting tired. They've played 6 matches. You know, they're in the hotel. Eastgate really looks fresh. And, I mean, I guess after that experience, the World Series, you were telling me, Phil, you got to 45th place this year.
Yeah.
It's really draining, and that's why so many young guys get through. They're fresh, aren't they?
Well, I mean, that's, you know, I don't know. I mean, I actually was more tired when I was younger.
That's a call, Roland Jack.
Can I not go?
You didn't actually announce anything in pot 3 on, but I can get that clarified
Don't worry about it.
for you.
Don't worry about it. It's my fault.
Okay. Cool.
So, I mean, I think when I was younger, I probably didn't play. I was probably tired more often, actually.
Eastgate has
And
limped,
this is a
and look at this.
nightmare flop for Eastgate. He's flopped a jack-high flush draw. Roland's flopped the ace-high flush draw. And Eastgate's trying to decide what to do. And
Roland's hand is so strong that he might not chip it, right? I mean, he might actually, or he just...
And he min-raised it.
16,000.
Yeah, and Peter has got to get the alarm bells here. Does Roland want to play an all-in pot? Is that what the question Peter's got to ask himself?
Well, here's what Eastgate did that's good. He took his time. He read Roland, and instead of just moving in with Jack 9, he gave Roland credit for having a hand.
If the club comes...
Oh, Roland can just check now. I mean, he's
got Eastgate drawn dead, doesn't he?
Check.
Yep.
Check.
And Eastgate's a little too smart. Now, of course, Eastgate doesn't want a club. Roland, a club is just double up city.
$15,000.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Thank you. Yeah, if Roland checks it, then Eastgate might have taken a stab at that pot.
And that's a little needle from Peter, isn't it? Thank you, he says. Thank you for the
betting.
free-
Well, he wouldn't be talking that way if he knew that his free card could bust him.
Right. Right, that's true.
Raise to 18,000 total.
Decision time for Eastgate. King 10, usually good.
Well, let's just see about his rating abilities. He just moved in with King 9. And just this exact same scenario. Now he has King 10. If he can somehow fold this hand, I'd be impressed because he just re-raised with it.
Now, Roland's only got about 115,000, so I'm guessing, Phil, that if Eastgate, if he was to stick a
wow, look at that. So there it is. So there's a definitive explanation. Can Eastgate read people? He re-raised with King 9 when he had him in bad shape in the small blind, and he folded King 10 when he was in bad shape from the small blind. So you just have to then say, okay, Eastgate is reading Roland well. There's no doubt about that. Eastgate couldn't read Nenad well, and he couldn't seem to read JC well, but he definitely has a read on Roland. Roland's playing well. You know, I mean, he's playing well. He's just kind of, you know, he really hasn't made the moves. He finally moved in with King Deuce, which I didn't think was the best move for him. There's a difference. Eastgate did not attack Nenad's blind. He didn't go after Medic's blind because he thinks that Medic, you know, has position, and I think he believes that Medic can read him better.
$7,000. Pass.
Nenad has really shut it down. Yeah, I mean, he made a couple of nice raises with nothing earlier, but now he's kind of shut it down. Which is okay. I mean, he's just letting some time pass. It's okay. He has plenty of chips. The blinds are small. No need to get crazy.
He's never reached this stage of a Premier League match before. Top 3. Just reveling in the situation, perhaps. He's got a lot of confidence in that, doesn't he? I mean,
I don't know. You know, I haven't heard him go around saying he's great at this or that, or you know, I mean.
Raise to 14,000 total.
There's a little more heat. See, Eastgate's getting away with it right now. Nenad's not playing back at him, and Roland's not playing back at him. So right now he has a license to raise. If he takes that license a little bit too far, believe me, Nenad's going to start playing back at him.
is it possible that Nenad is waiting for the blinds to go to 5 and 10,000? It's going to happen in 2 rounds.
Well, I mean, you know, look, the blinds are only 3 and 6. He's just chilling right now. It's all right. I mean,
yeah.
Cool. No raise.
Nenad, you're not. He seems really shut down right now.
So, do you think it's actually tactical that he's trying to give the impression that he's weak, that he's tight, or do you think he's really
7,000?
Well, he has these, you know, periods where he kind of goes and plays tight for a while, and he's in really good shape here. Eastgate needs a 7 or a 9, and an 8's horrible for Eastgate.
I was going to say there might be a lot of bluffing cards for Peter. That
check.
Yeah, so Eastgate gave up, and let's see, and Nenad might check it right back to him here.
$17,000.
feels like it could be an interesting pot.
No, it's over.
Oh.
Pass.
And
see, there it is. That's what Nenad was waiting for. Just won back, like, you know, 2 rounds worth of lines. So that encouraged him to just go ahead and play patient. And, you know, I mean, I think both of these guys are letting Eastgate raise a lot, and they're gonna move on him.
been a while since Roland raised from the button.
16,000 total.
Does the ace qualify?
Cool. Pass.
No hesitation called him with a 10-9 of clubs. I don't blame him.
And the call better than the re-raise because Roland's going to be mostly calling with hands he raises with?
Yeah. The call's much better here.
How do you like that flop?
Check. Check.
Roland made a good check right behind him right away. Roland needs a heart to get back in this.
Oh, God.
Now Eastgate...
Well, he wants him to hit some kind of gut straight now, doesn't he? Doesn't care. Give him anything he wants, Peter's thinking.
14,000.
And is that sort of deceptive? I mean, is it?
Well, Roland knows Eastgate's been running him over a little bit. And he has ace high, but 9, 10 queen, such a dangerous flop. You can just get away.
Full house for the world champion.
I mean, this guy's running good. I mean...
He's closing in on 300. Okay.
Well, he's won every pot. Another real hand on the button. Wowie.
Raise to 14,000 total.
Just enough.
Pass.
Look at Nenad. He's just a folding station.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it looks like Peter's tactic of doing a lot of raising is working well, but his opponents haven't picked anything up. And if he gets re-raised 2 or 3 times, then, you know.
Yeah, I mean, am I right in thinking, has Peter won like 70% of the last 15 hands. I mean, has he won
Definitely.
He's won them all.
You know, and he just called a race with 9-10 suited. Roland hasn't raised a pot in like 15 hands, and he just called with 9-10 suited like it was nothing and turned it into a full house by the turn.
So you're kind of impressed though that Nenad has lost the minimum during this awesome rage by Eastgate, huh?
Nenad is just waiting. He's going to nail Eastgate in a couple of pots, and and then he's going to nail him with a couple of weak re-raises, and then he's going to show him a big hand.
Pass.
Nenad does. He looks like the seasoned pro, but I mean, he's only like 25. You know, I mean, he's only 3 years older than Peter. Isn't he?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but 3 years is a big difference. I mean, Nenad's been out on tour. He won like his first World Poker Tour tournament like 2 years ago or something. I mean, he won a bracelet this year, so he's been down there a lot more often, I think.
And Roland, like, he's 46, so I mean, he's definitely, got a few years on these guys.
We know that Nenad's not going to fold king high on the button anymore, but he just hasn't picked it up.
All in.
Has it gotten to that stage, 75,000, or is that a beanpole bet, Phil?
I mean, I think that's okay. I mean, all in move on. I mean, it is a big beanpole. Look at it.
I just love that term. Blinds up to 5 and 10,000 now, and it was a good level for Eastgate, that's for sure. Nenad though still over average.
Yeah, I mean, Nenad really didn't go down much. Eastgate was basically attacking them. I might have, if I were in Nenad's shoes, I might have re-raised once or twice when I thought Eastgate was weak. But at the same time, he doesn't have to because he's been hanging around 230. The only guy getting hurt by the assault is the Wolfe, who keeps folding 10 high and jack high in the small blind.
Does there come a point when Roland needs to be willing to get it in with the worst of it, say like where he feels he's only 40%, just because of the sort of the mathematics of his having a better chance to win from where?
Yeah, now that the blinds are 5 and 10, I think, and Roland's sitting on 84,000. He's ready to gamble now. And Eastgate's forced to fold this time because, I mean, he's stolen so many pots that now the blinds are 5-10, and he can't just do it all the time.
All in.
Wow.
Not 9-3 at all in. Wow. It's a pretty powerful move.
Does he think that Roland is capable of folding this sort of hand, or is he expecting Roland to fold?
I mean, Roland has a really tough call here. Nenad just hasn't made many moves. He's been pretty patient. Roland can only call if he has a read on Nenad, in my opinion. I mean, King 3 is just not the spot for him, although he got away with King Deuce once. But then that time, Roland was the one who moved in. Roland has to ask himself, do I want to call it with King 3 or do I want to move in with Queen 9 suited?
Really?
In a few hands. And that's what Nenad did. He built this reputation for playing super, super tight. Bam. Just stole 10,000 there.
Yeah. And the Wolfe, sorry, the Wolfe's in the small blind. I'm guessing, Phil, it's still kind of this hand or the next hand. I mean, it's not.
I haven't spent that much time there.
1 of 3, maybe.
There's another city that's kind of the second biggest, Novi Sad.
He's fine. The blinds are only 5 and 10. He is 74,000. There's no need to go crazy. He doesn't have to just move in on this hand or the next hand. I mean, but he's looking for something playable, something decent. I mean, he's looking for Queen High now. There it is.
Nice.
Just a little better.
Yep, and Eastgate will probably call here.
73,000 total.
And yet at the same time, the Wolfe has played really, really patient and has folded a bunch of small blinds. And he still got called with the King 7.
Yeah, Eastgate found the call, and
Eastgate was lucky to find a hand that's better than Queen 10, actually. 9's not bad. Jack's not bad. They give him straight draws. Diamond gives him a draw. That was not what he wanted. Now he has 3 10s and 3 queens.
That's the tactic that's worked.
At least you got the best dress to
You think he'll hit it?
I think so.
I don't know. Do you?
He might.
Wow.
Bye-bye, DeWolf.
He's just
just running after him.
But trust me, Roland Wolfe is he's pleased. He's very, very pleased.
He'll be going to the playoffs to meet Nenad Overstad. And that's how he got to the final table last year. I think he thinks he can do it again.
Obviously, I'm very pleased to go through. Would have liked to have won it. Got three-handed and didn't finish the job, but it's good to have another shot in the semi-finals. I won my semi-final last year, so hopefully that will happen again.
Well, heads up, and a couple fun things still to see here, Phil. I mean, Eastgate, on one hand, playing for his third win, playing for 40,000 extra chips at the final table. And for Nenad Medic, a chance for pride, a chance for us to get to see what he's like heads up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's going to be a pretty good match, too, because I think that Nenad is not going to sit around and let Eastgate run him over. He's going to play back at him. And so it's going to be interesting to me. I actually think that Nenad, with a few less chips, is close to even money in this match. Eastgate's the reigning champion. He seems to be running well. But I think that Nenad might be a little favorite here because I think that he seems to be reading Eastgate well.
And are these stats misleading for what we should expect, or should we expect Eastgate to be the aggressor?
Everything changes now. So Eastgate likes to slow play his big hands. Nenad might slow play, he might fast play. So it'll be interesting to see who manufactures more pots here.
JC Tran, of course, the player who has beat Peter Eastgate heads up in this tournament in a match. And his secret for success, from what I could see, was slow playing a lot of hands and let Peter take the lead betting.
Yeah. Used Peter's own tools against him because that's what Peter does. He slow plays a lot of hands.
Raised to 24,000 total. Pass.
I got it wrong. I beat JC first. I lost to JC, then I won against JC. And then I beat you.
And you remember we were.
I watched the Eastgate Yuha match,
right?
And Eastgate really played better than Yuha, although Yuha played perfectly the whole session. When they got heads up, Eastgate was playing better.
You predicted it from far away that Yuha was going to sort of overcommit with a weak ace, and that's what happened.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. Nenad's not going to make that mistake. So.
Raised to 25,000.
You've kind of said from early on that you think that perhaps Nenad has a little bit. Is it a physical tell he might have on Eastgate, or just one of those where you look at him and just feel something? I mean.
Well, that's to me what a tell is to just, it's to just stare at someone and figure out not a specific thing, but an overall feeling of, all right, there's something there, they're really strong, or there's something really weak, and. JC and I had a great heads-up match. I was able to figure out when he was weak a couple of times.
You called him with king high, and then you called him for everything with the, what was it, third pair, fourth pair? It was
yeah. But, JC was also reading me well. I mean, you had two kind of a high-level match there.
24,000 total.
Okay, Nenad has an interesting decision here. What he's thinking right now is, do I have the best hand or not? He's not folding king-8 suited. So the question is, can he re-raise or not? Now, of course, if Eastgate hits a king here, it comes king-high flop. That would be pretty amazing luck.
Right. Everything else, it'll just be down to the play, right?
Yep.
Oh, gosh. Oh, wow.
What a flop for Nenad. Wowie. And he's chosen to lead.
Why would he choose a lead here? It's going to be, he's going to get on. How does he know, Phil?
6,000 total.
Well, here's the difference. Now let's see what Eastgate does. Eastgate might just call here. There's no real flop. There's no real, danger in that flop.
Re-raise. 75,000 total.
Now, if Nenad moves in, Eastgate could potentially get away from this hand.
Well, what would you do if you were Nenad, and why?
Nenad may smooth call here, and he's opted to smooth call because he thinks that Eastgate is drawing dead. Eastgate, Eastgate may have an 8 or Eastgate may have a bluff, and why get rid of him? Now, Eastgate needs a 9 and only a 9 at this point.
Oh, jeez.
Wow, that's just sick. I mean,
you feel a little bit bad for Nenad.
I mean,
here,
I
don't
actually
you?
feel bad for Nenad, and I mean, of course, I bet on him to win too. So, but this is ridiculous. I mean, Eastgate's run so well.
I'm all in.
All in? Cool.
I have to bear.
Wow.
Well, that's the story
So
of
sick.
Nenad Medic's Premier League, Phil. And I mean, welcome to the world of Peter Eastgate.
I mean, that's just sick. I mean, Eastgate's
It's
just running
crazy.
out of his mind. I mean,
And I think Peter feels a little bad here.
well, I think Peter was going to get himself busted on the sand or give a massive chip lead away.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's the story. And Peter knows it. I mean, he has been around. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Poor Nenad Medic. His Premier League is over.
That's why I'm the world champ.
And let's just have a look at the final standings in this league
Heads up,
table
it's about
and see
defense.
who's gotten through and who's going to the heads up.
Nothing you can do.
Well, the standings are final. These 4 players will be going forward to the final table and taking their points as chips. Tran, Eastgate, Helpy, and Tom Dwan. Big win for Peter Eastgate tonight. He's going to be pretty close to Tran. In the playoff zone, Tony G and Vicky Coren will be playing heads up for one of the seats at the final table. Annette Oberstadt will take on Roland de Wolfe. Both Roland and Vicky did enough to get through, knocking out Phil Hellmuth. Poor Phil, just missing out by 1 point. Nenad Medic, Andy Black, and the Devilfish following him down that road. Nenad was close, but busted himself.
I ended up in a big pot against an all-in pot against Devilfish, which I'm still not even sure if it was correct or not. But I don't know. I'm happy with the way I played. Just again, I made it. At least I made it to second this time, but got a little unfortunate the last hand there. But I'm happy with the whole tournament the way I played. So nothing you can do.
I was so lucky in that heat. It's unbelievable. As it was in the other heats, I was kind of destined to win this heat, especially in the last hand where I hit a 3-outer. There was like nothing we could do when the flops come down. Pretty dry with the king, the flop. We both hit top pair. Yeah, I ran unbelievably good, and that's all the reason why I'm the world champ.
Next time, it's the heads up. Annette Oberstadt against Roland de Wolfe, and then Tony G against Vicky Coren. Who will take the last 2 spots in the final?